University for East Java area. So we also have Baki here. Baki is our team in Surabaya. We
Hi.
have hi Baki.
Yes, hello.
Okay, so actually we have office in Surabaya, located inside the Pakuan Mall Home Pro LG floor. So you can just visit us anytime. Okay, so we will start our introduction about Sampoerna University. So first of all, we would like to share one video overall about Sampoerna University. Alright, so this is overall about Sampoerna University. So I would like to introduce. Today we have Lauren. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, morning, Grace.
Morning. Okay, so Lauren is our Vice Rector of Enrollment Service of Sampoerna University. So today presentation will be conducted by Lauren. So Lauren, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Grace and Balki. First of all, I think I would like to thank you, Mr. Charles, and also Miss Julie for the opportunity for sharing information. I hope the information that we'll share today, at least there's something that parents here can take out of it and can be useful for everyone. All right, I think just let me start with a brief intro about Sampoerna University, as it's mentioned in the quick video. Sampoerna University is actually built under the Putra Sampoerna Foundation. If you're from Surabaya, I'm sure you're familiar with the word Sampoerna because Pak Putra is actually from Surabaya. The family itself is actually already living the HM Sampoerna, or so a lot of people actually thought that it's still related with the HM Sampoerna, which is there's a tobacco company which we no longer affiliated with. I actually starting like 2001, Pak Putra Sampoerna has sold the tobacco company to Philip Morris, and then he moved to the philanthropist. So he's more focusing on education. He still have a few business in like banking, I think mining, and now he has gold as well. So those kind of business, but he's no longer in the tobacco company for quite so long. I think he's the last in his generation that is kind of in the tobacco company. So anyway, the vision and mission, because Pak Putra and his family came from U.S. education background, like all his family. Even his wife is actually a U.S. citizen, is Indonesian but a U.S. citizen. So he has a dream to actually have more Indonesian students to have an international degree. So that was the vision and the mission when the Sampoerna University is being built. We want a lot more Indonesian students have an opportunity to experience a international curriculum and then get an international degree, which lead to a better career pathway. And it's actually started in 2015 when Sampoerna has become a university. Previously, it was like, I don't know if you ever heard about USP. It's actually like a sekolah tinggi or institution. But now, starting 2015, we're actually becoming a university. And again, we are starting to be, I'm putting it quote unquote, it's a commercial university, because previously when it's in the form of sekolah tinggi, we are not accepting like a public as a student. We're actually focusing on the like full scholarship kind of program, and we're sending a lot of Indonesian students abroad. But looking at the long term and looking for a sustainable model, we want Sampoerna to become a university and grow bigger and can cater, you know, a lot more market. So again, one of our vision is that our graduate is not just get a job, but actually getting a job that is ready to compete globally. So it's not only work ready, but world ready. That's what the word that we always keep saying. All right, next. So just a quick intro about our program itself. Let me just go through our program. We are offering a hybrid curriculum here at Sampoerna University, and I think we're the only local university that ever offer a hybrid curriculum. What it means is we regulation, definitely. So we still keep all the national curriculum, but we're also combine it with the US curriculum, because US curriculum is not linear, so it's enable us to do that easier. US curriculum itself, it's actually divided into two biggest segments. Like first is, we call it the lower division, and then the second one is the upper division. The lower division is the first 2 year, the freshman and the sophomore, and then the third and the fourth year is the a junior and the senior. Now, the first 2 year or the lower division, that's what most of US students usually start with, the community college. The community college that I mentioned, it's not the same with a pre-college program. I know that a lot of university in the UK or Australia, you know, Victorian country, they have the pre-college prep, but that's not what it is. Community college is equal to university. It's like sekolah tinggi and university. It's the same. It's just that a community college is a smaller in size, meaning that community college don't usually offer master degree or, you know, a postgraduate degree. But they offer extension from, you know, high school until right now. A lot of community college already actually offer a bachelor degree as well. Now, the reason why a lot of American student actually start with the community college, because definitely it's a smaller in size. It would be a better transition from the high school. It's a lot cheaper, and then usually it's closer to home, because in terms of location wise. And then lastly, when they want to transfer to university, they already have a GPA, cumulative GPA, that then can be a tool for them to apply for a scholarship or a tuition grant for the bigger university. So for example, if as a freshman, somebody is applying directly to University A, then the requirement is very high to get, let alone to get a scholarship, but even like to enter the university, right? But if they're breaching from the community college, it's easier, it's cheaper, it's a plus point to get a opportunity to apply for the tuition grant for the university later. So that's how we built our model, our degree, our pathway model. The first 2 year, can we go to the slide where you can show our degree plan? The first 2 year, it's actually our collaboration between Sampoerna University with the Broward College. So when students apply and getting accepted to Sampoerna University in the first year, automatically the student will get 2 student ID, one from Sampoerna and one from Broward College. Even the placement test, it's actually from Broward College, because even for the student to sit on our placement test, they have to have a BC ID, or call it Broward College ID. Now, on the third and the fourth year, students actually have an option whether they want to stay in Indonesia, in Jakarta, in Sampoerna University, or the second option, if they want to transfer. Because I'm sure some of the parents here probably already have in mind, I'm definitely going to send my kids abroad, which is good. That's what our goal as well. So you have an option. That's what we're offering, the flexibility. After 2 years, you have an option to stay in Sampoerna and still get the US degree. Because if you stay at Sampoerna, meaning on the third and the fourth year, then the student will be automatically registered to University of Arizona. Sampoerna University is actually a University of Arizona micro campus. So University of Arizona is one of the Tier 1 public university in US. And just in case if you're wondering, but I don't really heard about University of Arizona here. Well, yeah, because they're a public, they're not a private uni, so they're not really looking for international students through agency. If that's why maybe us here in Indonesia is not hearing about University of Arizona a lot, just because the way they're looking for international student, it's not through agency. They're instead of going through agency, they prefer to build a micro campus in the developed country or in the country that they want to build their name there. For example, they have a lot of micro campus in China. They have a micro campus in Vietnam, in the Phnom Penh. I believe there is one in Mauritius, and in Indonesia, we're the only University of Arizona micro campus. So that's the reason why we can actually offer the US degree here in Jakarta. Sorry, can we go back? So on the second option, like I mentioned before, if you still want to go abroad, you can do so, and it doesn't have to be a University of Arizona. You can actually transfer to any university. Okay, why US and Canada? Because Broward College is a community college in US, so it would be easier, it would be more seamless transfer if the student actually transfer to a university in US and Canada. Now, the most common question would be, can I transfer to Australia or can I transfer to UK, right? The short answer, yes, you can, but you might not have to spend the whole 2 years. Okay, we have to map the degree plan. We actually have one department, we call it Student Parents Advisor Center, SPAC, and they're actually in charge for our new incoming student, especially for those who has a plan to transfer out, because we have to start mapping from orientation day. Like if you want to start, if you plan to take the option 2 or transferring out, then you have to talk to this our advisor. Which country, which university, what major, because our advisor is actually also very experienced in, for example, I'm interested in psychology, and I'm pretty flexible in terms of the country, so they can recommend like which university is best for those major specifically. And another good thing about this, our advisor, is they can advise you for about a financial kind of option, like this is the budget that I'm looking for, or I'm looking for partial scholarship and all those kind of things as well. But the most importantly is what to prepare, because like I said, if you really plan to go to Australia or UK or any Victorian-based curriculum, Broward College is a community college in US, right? So the curriculum is a US curriculum. So that's what we have to know, that you can still take the general study, because the lower division, the first 2 years, it's mostly is okay, I know when I said general study, usually parents are freaked out, like, what do you mean general study? Does that mean like a high school? It's not. Okay, general study is actually means an interdisciplinary subject. So no matter what major the student choose later, this subject is a mandatory. For example, English communication, right? Math is depend on the major that they're interested in, but like algebra, college algebra is a must, no matter even if you're in the social major, right? And then there's a pre-calculus, for example. Pre-calculus, we strongly suggest, even you're in the social study, you still have that pre-cal, just because it will be good for the way you're thinking, the mathematical, the logic thinking on it. But when it comes to like calculus 1, 2, 3, then it will be depend on what major you're taking, right? So that's what I mean by the interdisciplinary study. Communication, for example. No matter you want to be a medical doctor or you want to be a businessman, you have to take that communication. So that's what we call it the general study or interdisciplinary subject. I know that you're probably going to ask, is that taking like 2 years, the 4th semester? Well, not necessarily the full 4 semester. For sure, the first semester it would be very general, but then coming to the second, third, and fourth, that's already more specific. I mean, if you're in the engineering stream or you're in the business stream, but we have that cluster, we call it the cluster. So you can still change your major. That's another beauty about American curriculum, because a lot of students actually come to university with undeclared major, right? Of course, we are not advising you to change your major on your like last semester, definitely. But I mean, on the first semester, that's where a student is actually exploring, right? A lot of students, I'm interested in technology, especially with the situation right now. And when I met with students, a lot of students still confused whether they want a computer science or they want an information system. There's so many technology major. So that's what we mean by undeclared major. They know what they want, but not too specific. So the first semester is the time for them to explore, and then they can choose later, right? So that's what I mean by the general study. Okay, so if the student is actually take the first option next, this is how it is. Staying here at Sampoerna University for full 4 year, they're gonna graduate. They're gonna get 2 separate degree, one from University of Arizona and one from Sampoerna University. If you notice there is no difference on the degree of the University of Arizona. There is no such thing as an online. It's the same exact degree if the student is actually learning on site over there. Even our lecturer is also a co-teaching, and a lot of professors is actually also coming here. Even like before the pandemic, definitely come here to teach with us. Okay, next. Now, with this first option, students usually ask, but can I still experience studying abroad, right? I mean, because definitely it is different when you're studying far away from home and being here. So with that first option, we actually offer 1 semester abroad, just one, because I mean, I'll be honest, it's not easy to playing the puzzle, like which subject you have to take, because when you take that 1 semester abroad, you have to take certain subject and make sure that it won't prolong your graduation day, right? It has to be still in line with our class carousel. So if you want to do the 1 semester abroad at University of Arizona, the beauty is our student will pay in-state tuition rate. What does it mean, in-state tuition rate? A lot of Indonesian students who go abroad, they're actually, not a lot, sorry, I mean all, they're actually paying what they call an international student rate. The tuition fee that you're probably aware, for example, like 40,000 per year, US dollar, that's an international student rate. So how much is the in-state tuition rate? It's half of it, like totally half, like 50%. So if you want to spend 1 semester abroad, you pay the in-state tuition rate. So you can say that you get the 50% tuition waiver. Right, next. Now, if you choose the option 2, or you want to transfer it to other university, not interested at University of Arizona, that's fine. This is actually where our student already transferred in 2018. From Oregon State, Sunnybrook, NYU, Penn State, LSU. All this is a Tier 1 university in US. Yeah. Next. Another example of our student who do the option 2 or transfer out. So Anthony here is actually taking the first 2 years, 2016 till 18, in Sampoerna University. We call it the foundation degree for accounting, and then the next 2 years is actually at University of Arizona. And if you do this, another beauty is that in US you will get 1 year OPT or optional practical training. So you can actually get a working permit for 1 year. And then same with Rafi, he actually transferred to Penn State. So like I said, it doesn't have to be University of Arizona. And he's majoring in food science. So here's the thing when I said that it's undeclared major. Rafi is starting with us in the engineering stream undeclared major at Sampoerna University. Because we don't have food science here at Sampoerna. If you want to stay here with us for a year, you probably end up at mechanical or industrial engineering because that's the engineering stream that we have. But because he's transferring out, he has a lot more option, and he chose the food science because it's the same as the engineering stream. So the first 2 years with us, engineering stream, and then he transferred to Penn State and get his bachelor in food science. Another example of our student who graduate. Oh yeah, by the way, even if you spend the full 4 year at Sampoerna, beside the 1 semester abroad, student can also actually just do the graduation ceremony only in University of Arizona. Because like I said, during the 3rd year, the student will get the University of Arizona ID. So the student is actually a University of Arizona student at the same time. They're going to be a University of Arizona alumni, which means that if you have a vacation and then you just want to spend the summer at visiting UA, you can just tap into their library because you are their student. So it's the same for the graduation ceremony. These 3 students actually, I think this spring, during this pandemic, they go there with their parents for the graduation ceremony as well. And then if they, I think one of them is also planning to do the master degree. So that's why they do the graduation ceremony there and then applying for the master degree over there. Next. Okay, we are not only focusing on the academic, definitely we have a lot of activities, student activity that is non-academic, national and internationally. Oh, one more thing on the top right hand corner, the urban vehicle project. That's an example of our curriculum that is hybrid. A lot of people is asking, are we still doing Skripsi, right? Because like I think all the national university has a trademark. All the students were so afraid of Skripsi. Well, yes, we do Skripsi, but the way we're doing Skripsi is not like any other local uni. Skripsi with us is a project based. It's like what this student do in US. In US, a student don't do Skripsi, but they do a big project for every core major, right? So that's how we're combining it. So a Skripsi for us is the real project. It's not just writing a thesis, but it's a real project. Internship is a mandatory, definitely for us. And we don't have to mention because again, we're the only international university in Indonesia, which means that our industrial partner is also all multinational company. So all our students are end up doing a internship in this multinational company. So those in the screen are just a few examples of our industrial partner. Next. Another example that our student who work in the Google Indonesia, EY, maybe previously you're just saying a logo, right? But so who like is there actually a student there? Yeah, they have. So this student is not only doing an internship, they graduate and they work there. And Giovanni here right now is actually moving to Google Singapore. A lot of students asking, can I work abroad or offshore, right? Isn't it everybody's dream? I want to work offshore. Well, yeah, but not right away. What I mean is, unless you have the working permit, because at the end it's about the working permit, right? But by getting a job in a multinational company here in Indonesia, there's actually one step ahead to working offshore. Next. Another example, Gabby is just a graduate last year. She's actually an entrepreneur. She and her friend actually opened this Bos Cetak Founder. It's like a digital printing company, and then next year she's planning to continue her master degree in Taiwan. That's Gabby. And then Jansen right here, even before he graduated, he actually got accepted in Astra. He's a very active student. He is participating in the HSBC competition and all those kind of thing, and he's active in the student council. So he got an offer even before he graduated in Astra. Okay, next. Okay, our facility, I'm not going to mention too long, but we are being accredited by both Indonesian and the US accreditation. So we're not only accredited by BANPT, but we're also accredited by US accreditation, which is NECI. We take the New England accreditation. That means that all our academic facility has to be the same standard with the US standard as well. Okay, next. The same facility, our VCD, and we're the only university that has a motion capture video on the top right hand corner. I mean, even like Trans TV, CNN Indonesia, they do a lot of actual on-site workshop in our using our lab. Next. Okay, I don't think we need, do you want to play the video, Grace? Okay, all right, so let's just skip the video. Now about the admission process, I'm just going to go quickly, but later on if you have a question, yeah, you can just type in the chat box. So if you choose to spend the full 4 year here at Sampoerna University, this is the faculty that we have. We also have faculty of psychology next year. Study program psychology. I know it seems that it's not many, but again, if you want to transfer, you don't have to worry about this. Remember, Rafi is taking an engineering stream, and then he's actually taking the food science abroad. Or let's say I'm interested in business law or something, then you can take the our foundation degree with the business foundation degree, and then you can transfer to a business law or any related business subject. Okay, next. Just a quick entry requirement. Again, put it this way, when you're applying to Sampoerna, you're applying to 2 universities at the same time, right? So you're applying to Broward College and you're applying to Sampoerna University. So you have to meet the requirement of both, right? For Indonesian requirement, I think it's pretty clear. You're probably already familiar, which is definitely equivalent to grade 12, or if you have a packet C, that would be equivalent to the grade 12. But the advantages of being a Broward College actually acknowledge a O-level certificate, right? But you have to put in mind that if you came with the O-level certificate and if you want to transfer out, then that's not going to be a problem at all. But if you're coming here, accepted with us using an O-level, but want to stay for full 4 year here at Sampoerna, then the next following year we will suggest you to take the packet C. We can help you with that actually. I mean, it's not us, but yeah, we do that a lot. Like we help a lot of our existing students doing a packet C. Just because we cannot issue an Indonesian degree without the high school equivalency, but we have also a lot of students who's 100% sure they're going to transfer out, so they're just going to come with us with the O level, and then no need packet C, but then they're transferring out after 1 or 2 years. Yeah, so that's the flexibility as well. Now, here's the how to apply. A student can fill out the online application from our application portal in our website, online application form, and then the only document that we need is the previous year transcript, and then there's an application fee. Now the next one is actually taking a placement test. So what is the placement test is all about? Placement test, there are 2 types, basic and advanced. It's the same like when student is actually applying abroad, right? TOEFL, IELTS, that would be equivalent to a basic test. So if you do have a TOEFL or IELTS, that's good. You can skip the basic test. Now, advanced test is equivalent to SAT. So it's English and math in SAT, right? This test will determine the student place. Like for example, if the student take a basic test, then there's a possibility, depending on the score that they got, there's like a 3 group, right? Group A, B, C. Group C, the lowest is probably we're going to suggest them that I'm sorry, your English is not there yet. You probably need more practice. The second group is actually your English is okay, but we will suggest you to take the summer bridge program to enhance your English once more, to ensure that they're college ready by fall. And then the third one is that the English score is meeting to the certain standard where they can just go to the advanced test, meaning that they can just start in fall, no longer need to take the summer class or the English enhancement program. Now, I believe from Ivy school, one of the advantages is the English. So that's why later on we also want to give you a diagnostic test, which is pretty much similar like the basic test, so that we know where your level of English is, and the opportunity, the possibility of not only getting accepted, but actually get a scholarship if it's possible, right? Because our diagnostic test is there is an equivalency with the IELTS predicted test. Right. Next. Yeah, this is the minimum TOEFL. I mean, if you already have TOEFL or IELTS, to skip the basic test, yeah, just to skip the basic test, that's the minimum. For SAT, I think the minimum is really by subject, but if you ask in total, it's about 1,200. Yeah. Usually Ivy League will ask like minimum 1,300, but normal university will ask for around like 1,200. But there is a breakdown for each subject. Next. This is just a quick information that we also do a scholarship. Now remember that when we said scholarship, our tuition fee is a package fee by semester, right? Even if the student get 25% scholarship, this is including the Broward College and the University of Arizona scholarship, because again, although you're actually entering 3 institutions, if you stay here for 4 years, you don't have to pay it separately. It's already a package, right? Just to give an estimation, our regular semester fee for the lower division, including the Broward College one, it's about like 50 per semester, 50 mil per semester. That's a regular one. So if you get a 25%, like I said, that's already include both Sampoerna University and Broward College tuition scholarship. And the 75% scholarship is only for the English language education program, but the rest is actually apply for 25 and 50%. So again, why, in case you're wondering, why is it only for the first 2 years? Well, because on the 3rd and the 4th year, student has to maintain the higher GPA, but still they can get the 25 or 50% depending on the cumulative GPA. Why is the cumulative GPA is increasing? Because this is the upper division. Remember the lower and the upper division. So University of Arizona definitely require a lot higher a minimum GPA in order to obtain the either 25 or 50%. Next, just a few example. Oh, a lot of them from Surabaya. This is a few students that already got our Merit Award scholarship. So yeah, I hope we will see Ivy School in the future soon. We also have the 100% scholarship, but again, definitely this is very limited. It's not only about the academic, but there's also a quota. Sometimes it's depend on the major as well, but it's very limited seat. But again, there's no harm in trying anyway. And then the student has to maintain the GPA of 3.25, definitely higher for the 100% scholarship. Another example of our 100% scholarship recipient along the year. I think some of them is also from Surabaya, yeah? Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay, so this is the one from Surabaya actually. Yes, there you go. So definitely looking forward for next one, okay? Okay, I think this is just our student testimonial, like just in case you're wondering how's our student life, student profile looks like, who are our student. I know that you see in the previously our recipient, right? Our sponsored recipient. So those are our students from Surabaya. So yeah, there are students from Surabaya. You're not going to be the first one. And this is some of our existing. So Hafiz right here, he's actually studying in Taylor College, Malaysia, because of the pandemic. He's coming back to us because we're the only university that can accept his subject from Taylor College. Enrico Halim from one of the national school in Jakarta. He managed to actually increase his English and almost graduate. We also have an international student because in Jakarta, I think we have a lot of some quite Korean community. Actually, in our apartment next door, there's a lot of Korean community. Yuna is one of it. Oh, Gabby just graduated. I think the one that I told you previously wants to continue her master degree in Taiwan next year. She's a very active student. She's also a host in the Prambors TV. Reggie right here from Venus Inter. he was thinking to go to Netherlands, but then, well, if he can get a US degree here, why not staying here and then continue the master degree abroad? We also have an exchange student. Well, I'm not going to say an exchange, but like, you know, what that one semester abroad. So Spencer here is actually US student that is coming here. So it's that's why it's a lot of our students going there and a US student coming here. Catherine Jovanka is another student from National School. At first, she want to take a fashion design, but then, yeah, she thinks that broader choices if you take in this industrial engineering and then learn about fashion design as a skill base. They right here from Medan. Yeah, this is another thing why we know our student by heart, because we are not a huge university. I mean, the one that is applying is a lot, but there is a admission process, so we can only admit certain students. So that's why it's a very small community, very family minded, and we know our student by heart. Okay, I think that's it. That's my clue. I'll give it back to Grace, and if you have any question, feel free to just type it in the chat box.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Floren, about briefly about Sampoerna University. So, okay. Before we start our Q&A session, I know Miss Julie. Do you want to say something to us, Miss Julie? Okay, Miss Julie, the time is yours.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a couple minutes, testimony a little about me as a parent. Maybe this will relate more to other parents who are still doubting if this is like the right path to continue, like from grade 9 directly going to pursue this university path. So I spoke also on behalf of parent of David, which has already gone through this path, and it is definitely very exciting to know that we even have like a campus that is located in Jakarta, which was quite very good coincident fit also during pandemic. So as I sent my son to Singapore, I have to admit that definitely the living costs, like talking about the tuition, is basically the same. Whether it's Singapore and even in Indonesia, if you like joining like the international university or sending them to US. But when it comes with the living cost, Singapore really like charge quite double, also I can say triple of it. And here in Jakarta, I can really see it as a very good option, which if pandemic really go with some border shut like what happened before, which usually every month I can visit my son, and suddenly it's all closed down, so I totally don't have any access to him. And I would like to have parents to really consider this option. This is like the thing about cost and accessibility. And the other thing is, I have a lot of questions. Miss, hak popo ta anakku ini SMP, ndak kemudahan ta, ndak dikarbit ta anaknya. Please do believe that when your children has already passed their puberty, they're really quite mature actually with a lot of decision making. I still remember I was graduated from high school Petra Manyar, and SMA 1 di Petra. Itu they have I have like maybe like 20% of classmates who are from luar pulau. And when it comes from luar pulau, definitely in Surabaya, I ask them around, and they don't live with their family. They live kos-kosan. So be very sure that these children that we see like very cute as toddlers before, they are already past that age that we can really see them grow in responsibility. I'm not saying that my son is that perfect one, but he is quite a perfect example of that imperfection, that when you see him there, when I see him trying to grow up in Singapore, that life really trained him hard also. Yeah. And finally, okay, let me give you not just the rosy picture. He's trying to find a job in Singapore during pandemic, and it was quite a mission impossible. He didn't get the job. He was depressed at that time. But when we finally said like, come on, let's just go back to Indonesia. Within 2 months, he got a job in a very good condition. I mean, like the term and condition of the salary and stuff. Yeah, and I really see it like work. That finally, when Miss Kathy was contacted by Chris, and told about this program, I have my really full support that Ivy parent would also consider this. Ya, jadi nanti boleh datang ke saya pribadi, mau WA saya, mau kontak saya, misalnya di sini sungkan tanya ya, ini langsung let me just talk in Indonesian. Sungkan tanya mau ngomong secara detail ongkos-ongkosannya piro sih Miss, sajane menang mana sih Miss, dikirim langsung atau yang pasti kalau secara ongkos-ongkosan pasti menang. We talk about 7 years. We have to go 3 years SMA, 4 years university. Itu sudah kos 7 tahun. Which 7 years, if you calculate with the money thing and the time that they have to spend, ya, itu time that they have to spend itu is also very precious to budget sebetulnya ya. And it was comprised into this 3 or 4 years ya. Kalau yang di Singapura itu saya lihat like around 3 or 4 years also, and here also the same ya. So please do really consider itu tes diagnostic itu mohon langsung dijajal dulu ya, tolong dicoba wis. Give our children the more options first. Nanti dipikir lagi kayak apa ya, kayak gitu. So that's most from me ya. If there is any parents want to ask further details, ask also ya. Hati seorang parents that been through it. That's why I really want to show my full support for this to happen also, especially the one who qualify. Ya. Okay, bless you. Thank you, Grace, Loren ya, sama Belgi. Thank you, bless you.
Thank you, Miss Julie. Thank you so much. That is so true. That is so true. I mean, that's what I said, right? The international degree that will definitely give a student a promising pathway. I think David, for example, I know Singapore is a very competitive country. I know it personally, but I mean that's the reason why we are offering a US degree, because we can guarantee that you will get a better job, even like here in Indonesia with the US degree, and I'm speaking from my own experience. And yeah, I understand. I'm a parent, but my kids is not yet in university. But I mean, if we see our children development, right? Sometimes there's gonna be just one day that we just sometimes we are surprised that, oh my God, he can do that, like so. I guess is that we won't know unless we try, right? Unless we push and we try. But yeah, I know it's not our decision to make. It's all the parents here to make. But again, sometimes we are being a parent. Sometimes we're being a protective to our kids. But there are times that we also have to push our kids to actually grow and experience by themselves. And definitely. Getting an international degree, experiencing a study abroad. Like I said, even with the full 4 year here in Jakarta, we have that 1 semester abroad, because we know how important it is to be far away from home sometimes, right? That 1 semester abroad will teach them, will be a game changer for their life, because there is no more mom and dad. Speaking from my personal experience, I was actually graduated from Sidui, Surabaya. So I'm from Surabaya, and I remember right after high school, my parents used to just push me, okay, go. So I went to Rhode Island, that's in the US, by myself. Like my parents doesn't even come with me. I still remember in the airplane, I was like so many things in my head. So like 36-hour flight, I don't feel it, because like I was so occupied with what should I do when I get there, like the apartment, where do I sleep tonight, and like that thing pushed the kid to actually being an independent, and that would be a point of a game changer in their life, because there is no more mom and dad, there is no more simba, right? So I have to I have to do it by myself, and yeah, that's an experience that we cannot buy, definitely. But again, with the option that we are offering, it's not bad in Jakarta, right? You can still fly to Jakarta, and you don't have to make a decision now. Let's say after 2 years in Jakarta, and then you think, I think my kid is ready, right? Because you're in Surabaya, and then this is Jakarta. Still, it's a long distance, although it's not that long. But after 2 years, maybe that after 2 years, you trust your kids that, oh, I think I'm ready to send my kid. You know, that's a better transformation as well, rather than making decision to send the kids abroad right away, right? And you don't have to make a decision. See, that's the beauty with us. You don't have to make a decision to transfer now. When you come to us, you can always change your mind. Like you want to take the full 4 year, but then you want to actually transfer it into that as well. But even if you cannot transfer, like the pandemic happened, we actually have a lot of parents that already planned that the kids definitely have to go abroad, right? But after the 2 years pandemic happened and then the kid is still here, still they will get the US degree. With other university, be careful. I just want to, because I'm not only from Sampoerna, like my previous in the education is like I'm from other university, like everywhere. None of other local university that can offer an international degree if you don't go abroad, right? So there is a guarantee here, even though you don't go abroad, you will still get the US degree, while other university will not be able to offer it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu Loren. Thank you very much, Bu Julie. Okay, Julie, do you want to say? Maybe you want to add something?
Ya, untuk major itu saya I check it on your booth in PTC Home Pro. Yeah, they have also the mechanical engineering. So basically, if they stay here for 4 years, it's gonna be like, if it is mechanical engineering, it's gonna be like ST, Sarjana Teknik, punyanya Indo, terus sama Bachelor of Science from UA gitu ya, betul ya?
Ya, betul Bu Julie.
Okay.
Ya, Bu Loren mau ini?
Ya benar, sorry, I was still muted. Yes, correct.
Terus apa lagi ya kemarin itu? Visual communication design itu like that's quite new to me ya. Visual communication design is like all those digital marketing things, or yang kayak apa ya? Maybe you can explain a little gitu.
Sure. Jadi visual communication design itu banyak anak yang kalau zaman dulu itu lebih ke design communication visual, yang suka gambar gitu ya. Nah, there are two things. Visual communication design di beberapa university itu ada yang fall under Faculty of Art, ada yang fall under Faculty of Technology. For us, it's fall under Faculty Technology. Because if it's Faculty of Art, it's a different pathway, right? It's a really drawing 2D and then all the skill based. Nah, kalau di kita itu lebih luas gitu. Jadi bukan hanya drawing skill based, sebenarnya kita mempelajarin dari IT-nya gitu. Karena kan sekarang program-program itu udah banyak ya. Of course you still have to have that creativity and all those kind of thing. Bisa dibilang nanti bisa ke digital marketing nggak? Bisa. Tapi bedanya apa sama ambil digital marketing? Nah, kalau yang digital marketing itu sebenarnya ada bisnis. Jadi sebenarnya kalau yang digital marketing ada bisnis, itu nanti di first 2 year-nya tuh banyak macro economic. You still gonna learn about paling nggak basic accounting atau basic finance pasti ada. Karena kalau digital marketing kan sebenarnya lebih bisnis, gitu kan. But if it's visual communication design, it's more art, it's more the creativity, it's more the content ya. But we're emphasizing on the new media, meaning that we're emphasizing in technology. Actually, in Sampoerna University, no matter what major you choose, we are focusing on the technology. Even our Faculty of Education, yang English Language Education program, we are focusing on technology. And mungkin ada beberapa nanya, ini English Language Education itu lebih ke linguistik atau, karena kan education ya, berarti sekolah keguruan dong, jadi guru dong gitu kan, kayaknya memang jarang banget yang mau jadi guru. Well, don't get me wrong, karena kita fokus di teknologi, so we're teaching about edupreneur, edutech. Jadi being an our graduate itu ya ada yang jadi guru, tapi by the way kalau yang jadi guru pun mereka akan mengajar di international school karena they are Cambridge and IB certified. IB ini lagi mau ditambah. Yang pasti sekarang udah Cambridge certified. So it's not just being a teacher, like a national teacher. It's actually because it's an English language program, right? So it's a Cambridge certified teacher. They're gonna teach in the international school, like Cambridge curriculum. Dan they don't have to be a teacher if they don't want to. Actually 80% of our graduate mereka ada yang being an entrepreneur, kayak buka education center, ya. Dan sekarang kan memang education ini kan disrupt. Yeah. There's going to be a lot more center, like education center. So that's where we're heading with the English education program.
Terus Loren, kalau yang entrepreneur itu since like first semester or second semester, there will be like exposure to real life business environment gitu mungkin ya?
Yes, kita
I don't know, like
correct. Jadi kita juga punya kayak pojok bursa ya, jadi tergantung interestnya anak nanti ya, tapi itu definitely ada. Jadi we give them a little bit of everything di semester pertama definitely. Yes. And then that's why undeclared major, right? Then mereka bisa nanti menentukan which one they want gitu loh. Nah, kalau untuk yang project based, absolutely kita sama HSBC itu ada exclusive agreement. So HSBC itu sebenarnya all their education program itu dengan Sampuna. Kalau dia ngadain competition, bisnis apa ya, the business incubator itu dengan Sampuna. Terus kayak CEO Talk itu banyak banget. Karena again, that's the beauty of the hybrid curriculum ya. Karena we not really well, like I said, sebenarnya sih dengan adanya Menteri Pendidikan yang baru ini kita terbantu banget ketika mereka bilang kampus merdeka. So they give us more flexibility to do that, ya. Yeah.
Oke, thank you.
Oke. Ini ada yang pertanyaan direct message ke saya. Jadi gimana nih untuk kayak apply dan mencoba untuk yang tadi ya, diagnostic testnya. Jadi tadi juga baru dibantu sama Bagi juga, kita ada chat untuk link teman-teman. Bagi teman-teman di sini yang ingin mencoba untuk diagnostic test dari Sampoerna University, teman-teman boleh klik di link yang ada di chat box, atau teman-teman juga bisa scan di barcode ini. Sebentar, aku share screen. Ya, teman-teman boleh scan barcode ini juga, gitu ya. Ini nanti tinggal isi aja data yang diperlukan di sini. Setelah itu nanti kita akan kontak teman-teman di sini, gitu ya. Dan kita akan janjian nanti mau diagnostiknya kapan, gitu ya. Diagnostiknya nanti bisa dilakukan di kantor kita yang di dalam Pakuwon Mall. Jadi nanti boleh janjian. Misal, aku bisanya hari ini, aku bisanya jam ini, gitu ya. Jadi kita bisa janjian dan kita bisa mengerjakan itu di Pakuwon Mall, gitu ya teman-teman. Oke, nah setelah nanti lulus dari yang tes diagnostic testnya gitu, nanti teman-teman bisa melakukan the real test dengan Sampoerna University dengan submit beberapa dokumen, yaitu memang kita membutuhkan rapor gitu ya. Lalu juga mungkin nanti kita perlu untuk setiap tanggal lahir dari teman-teman semua gitu. Nah, termasuk mungkin dari Bu Loren ini ada mau menambahkan, mungkin kalau seandainya teman-teman masih belum umur 16 tahun, ada pathway apa yang kita bisa bantu gitu Bu Loren.
Oke, nanti kita bisa explore one by one juga ya sebenarnya untuk versi yang belum 16 tahun, it's okay. Karena kan kita juga gini ya, belum 16 tahun berapa tahun nih gitu kan, kita juga intake kan ada 2 kali intake nih sebenarnya dalam 1 tahun, Januari dan juga August intake ya, yang biasanya normal sih ya August intake lah ya, karena sekolahnya kan selesainya di bulan itu gitu. Nanti kita, tapi it's okay juga, makanya kita lihat dulu nih perlu programnya yang berapa bulan nih gitu loh, karena sebenarnya bentar ya, let me just share screen. Sebenarnya banyak banget sih, ada beberapa hal yang kita bisa ambil dulu. Intinya I understand that kita tuh nggak mau buang-buang waktu kan ya gitu ya. Nah itu sebabnya karena kita itu ada Indonesian-nya, ada US-nya, we can play around lah. Maksudnya oke, let's take the US-nya dulu, nanti Indonesianya menyusul seperti itu. Makanya kita bisa terima anak O-level walaupun tanpa paket C terlebih dahulu. Nanti tahun depannya baru paket C-nya gitu ya. Karena kan kalau mau tetap dapat Indonesian degree-nya kan tetap harus ada paket C, tapi paket C-nya boleh menyusul gitu. Nah, itu flexibility yang kita bisa tawarkan supaya anaknya juga nggak buang waktu gitu ya kalau belum, atau misalnya nanti ini anaknya belum 16 tahun misalnya nih ya, Nah itu sebenarnya ya kita adanya paket C itu bisa sih tergantung berapa tahun ya, berapa bulan sorry ya. Itu sebenarnya bisa juga dibalik gitu. Tapi sebenarnya kalau udah paket C nggak perlu GED lagi sih. Nah, kita tuh punya program yang namanya GED, tapi sama itu juga ada umur sih ya. Justru menurut saya paket C itu lebih fleksibel, 16 tahun atau enggaknya nanti itu bisa kita bicarakan. Kalau GED itu adalah sama dengan high school equivalency, US high school equivalency. Jadi GED itu mirip paket C, cuma bisa dibilang paket C-nya Amerika. GED ini diterima dimanapun diterima. Jadi sebenarnya kalau nanti student ini sudah punya GED certification itu bukan cuma bisa apply ke Sampoerna, apply ke any university di US juga bisa kalau sudah punya GED gitu. Karena GED itu adalah equivalency dari paket C. Yes, tadi ada pertanyaan, paket C-nya diuruskan dengan Sampoerna, betul. Jadi makanya bisa masuk dulu, walaupun tetap ya. Jadi gini, ibarat kayak itu kan ujian negara, bukan ujiannya di Sampoerna, bukan ya. Tetap ada ujian negaranya, tapi kita yang akan urusin itu. Jadi admission kita, karena banyak banget existing student kita yang masih utang. Maksudnya kalau memang dia mau stick, ini kan karena pandemik ya, kayak tadi saya bilang yang tadinya rencananya mau keluar, tiba-tiba nggak jadi gitu loh. Nah dia memang harus urus paket C tuh. Nah itu kita banyak banget sih bantuin existing student kita untuk ikut di paket C. Itu kita bisa bantuin. Yes. Gitu.
Oke. Ya, berarti kalau untuk teman-teman dari Ivy School, untuk dokumen yang kita butuhkan berarti adalah transkrip dan juga nanti berarti paket C ya Bu ya, yang bisa disusulkan maksimal di bulan Juli sebelum masuk gitu ya. Jadi kayak gitu. Jadi nanti paket C-nya itu akan dibantu dari pihak Sampoerna juga. Tapi kalau seandainya mungkin dari parents di sini atau teman-teman di sini yang memang ternyata punya, aku ada kenalan nih yang memang bisa bantuin paket C juga nggak apa-apa. Jadi itu bukan suatu hal yang wajib kayak paket C-nya harus dari Sampoerna. Kayak gitu ya.
Nah ini mungkin kalau boleh saya share sedikit aja ya buat parents supaya ini pengertian secara global aja nih kalau boleh. Dan ini menurut saya sih di university manapun, bukan hanya Sampoerna, ini kayaknya common rules untuk university ya, secara global admission di university gitu. University itu ketika anak apply itu selalu meminta dua hal. In general ya, saya ngomong general, ya bukan hanya di Sampoerna, in general. Yang pertama itu application requirement, which mean siapa sih yang boleh apply, gitu ya, boleh apply. Nah, common rules yang boleh apply itu kan biasanya kalau di Indonesia equivalent to grade 12 gitu ya, atau punya IB diploma. IB diploma ini kan equivalent ya sama kelas 12 atau A-level. Sebenarnya kalau mau dibilang A-level ini sih kelas 12 plus lah ya kalau A-level itu. Nah, atau ini kok ada O-level. Nah, O-level ini kan sebenarnya belum kelas 12 ya. Cuman kalau di tadi kayak Broward College itu O-level itu diterima, tetapi ada syarat dan condition sebenarnya. Nah, another thing, terus kalau misalnya saya nggak punya semua itu gimana? Ini tadi ada yang namanya other G12 equivalency gitu. Nah di sini kita bilang bahwa other G12 equivalency itu ada paket C or GED. GED itu ya tadi yang saya bilang ya, mirip dengan paket C cuman US punya, dan ini adalah berlaku di any university yang punya kurikulumnya US lah seperti itu. Nah ini syarat pertama. Syarat kedua itu adalah kan anak ini boleh sudah apply, diterima atau tidak ya, ada syarat penerimaan gitu. Jadi ada dua nih hal yang berbeda sebenarnya. Karena kalau syarat application ini biasanya secara universitas itu bukan hanya karena universitasnya tetapi karena pemerintah. Saya yakin universitas mau di UK, mau di Singapura, mau di Amerika, ya tergantung ya, ada beberapa negara yang government-nya tidak terlalu interfere, ada beberapa negara yang government-nya sangat interfere gitu ya dengan requirement ini. Nah jadi application requirement ini banyak sekali bagi most university itu adalah government, ada unsur-unsur government-nya. Kenapa? Karena nanti akhirnya kan harus mengeluarkan sertifikat yang terdaftar secara nasional gitu kan ya, itu application requirement. Sedangkan kalau penerimaan, syarat penerimaan itu nggak ada hubungan sama government, itu lebih dari university-nya gitu. Jadi kalau diterima atau syarat admitted requirement placement test ini yang tadi Grace mau offer diagnostic testnya, coba aja dulu gitu, daripada ikut TOEFL juga IELTS bayar juga kan, kita kasih gratis gitu, coba aja dulu gitu ya. Nah ini adalah beberapa contoh dari standardized test yang biasanya digunakan oleh universitas untuk syarat penerimaan. Dan syarat penerimaan ini selain diterima juga biasanya menentukan scholarship eligibility, ada yang namanya credit for prior learning. Nah, ini nanti satu hal yang nanti tergantung ya, kita nanti ketika one-on-one konsultasinya, anak saya belum 16 tahun, oke, is there anything that we can do untuk ngambil kredit dulu supaya nanti bisa dikreditkan kemudian. Ini namanya credit for prior learning. So we can also discuss about this separately depending on case by case. Mudah-mudahan menjawab.
Yep. Oke, thank you banget Bu Loren. Ya mungkin di sini ada parents juga dan students. Jadi mungkin ada pertanyaan kah? Mungkin mau share case-nya gitu. Mungkin di sini parents mungkin, Grace ini anakku sekarang umur segini nih, baiknya gimana ya kayak gitu. Boleh banget, feel free ya. Oke, ada pertanyaan lagi kah?